This is we are in Kenya or Tanzania now.
Yeah. One of the things we want to determine if they change the natural course of the river, how much water is left to Kenya? Because we can't do it. This river must be managed.
When it reaches there now, it speaks the scent of the river. Now the river forms the boundary up to the lake and up to 67 now we are coming from. Yeah.
And the Mabati was there?
The Mabati was done in 1950s.
You can't plaster on top?
No, it will just fall off.
It will fall off.
Yeah.
So you can see the fish there?
Now we are preparing for
the design.
Why can't this water be purified to drink? You know? First, the purpose of boundaries is to define in international law the republic, the extent of a country's sovereignty and the beginning and the end of the other country's sovereignty. It also helps the administrators around here to know how they will collaborate with their counterparts. For example, if there is theft on the side of Kenya, they will not do a hot pursuit, they will not chase them into Tanzania. When they reach here, they are supposed to call their counterparts to report the event so that we do not have a situation where we are violating. That is the administration level. But when we come to the government, the communities level, you have seen with the farming communities here in Loitoktok and the others, we don't interfere with the farmers. They continue working, because these are the same families. We don't disrupt their ways of life. The only thing we request them and train them to do is to keep the vista clear. You know, the vista, what we normally call the no man's land, and there is nothing like no man's land in boundaries. I need to correct that myth, is that we want to be able to see the pillars all through.
We have no disputes between us. A lot of work has gone into this. Many departments have been involved. We have a lot of hands on the ground, more than 80 officers, drawn from various departments, from KIBO, from Ministry of Lands, from KDF, from Immigration, and others that have come in here for this collaboration. 558 kilometers have been done, and only a few kilometers are remaining, about 200, now between Lake Jipe and Vanga, is it?
Yes.
And Vanga. And that one, we want to see whether we can embark on it before the end of the year, so that early next year the two presidents can be able to sign the agreement. I want to thank the teams very much, KIBO for coordinating this, KDF for partnering in a very strong way, and the officers who have been on the ground, because there's a lot of work that has gone into this. As you can see behind me, you can clearly see the line between ourselves and Tanzania. And this goes all the way to Lake Victoria.
And the border security or border management, so to speak, falls under the Central Command. And for this particular exercise, we are mostly interested in, or rather we are a majority stakeholder in this border formation, for the simple reason that border security or any external threats actually fall under or is a purview of the KDF. And so we are a major stakeholder in this border formation, and that's why we actually support the whole exercise.
We need to realize that our country comes first, even before my home, because without Kenya, I can't have a home. So Kenya is our home first, and then we partition it in small places where each one of us now has a resident. So it is very important for us to take care of our nation. It is very important for us to know where it ends and where it begins. It is very important to love and protect our country, because the country is our mother. You never have another one. And so the patriotism you see with our young people in these boundaries is very, very important, because you never want to become a refugee, for example. This is the only country where you'll be loved and you'll be taken for what you are. Nobody will be asking where do you come from and why are you here. You'll never face racism. So people should appreciate the importance of their republic. That is the first thing we need to nurture as a people. That is the thing we need to teach our children from the time they are born. Because if there is no Kenya, there can't be me. you know. So it's very important.
Some of the challenges faced mostly the terrain. You find it's a bit complex in some sections. And the most difficult part is having materials to the points of construction. You have to get casuals who have to move long distances, carrying on sacks, carrying the cement in sacks for the materials to reach, because without that material reaching that point, then no construction will take place. But since it has to be done, we have to find all the ways that we can do it.
How are the local community benefiting from this work?
The local communities have been benefiting by engaging them in casual labor, casual work, and we also get artisans from the local communities